we had another technical difficulty. I've had difficulties here. I have to go start back again at the top of the weakest Pokemon, in my opinion. Number 10, I already told you it was Chikorita and Charmander of the first two gyms. Those two gyms just rape your Pokemon, wipe your Pokemon clean. They're gonna be clobbered with one hit. Like a single hit. Like Brock, you could probably use Brock could probably use a bind and then take back double. That's the worst, and those are the two worst Pokemon. Chikorita is the worst against Bug and Flying and Fire type moves, and even the other Pokemon like even Charmander meets a Rock and Water type moves. Douse the Flame, Crush Rock, and can't do anything. Number 9 has to be one of the weakest Pokemon, I think, that you can probably take out with one shot. Delibird. This Pokemon is the weirdest Pokemon ever. And I'd probably just use a curse on it when it's faint. But Delibird is the one weakest stats, weakest and perfect knockout from just about anything else. Now, top. Here's another that's easy knockout from Fire type moves. Number 8 is Bidoof. This Pokemon, you could probably just use one Flame Wheel on its faint. Because this Pokemon is one of the weakest ever. It has the weak stats and perfect stat wise. And for a stat and perfect knockout from just about every fire type attacks. Next one is the Eevee evolution. The evolution that you don't want to invite you into. Flareon. It is the hardest Pokemon to learn good moves because it's kind of like the only really has a Splash Fire or power if it gets hit by Fire type moves. Fire types don't do as much as you might think because Fire type moves were great, but the Eevee with Flareon should be less careless of getting killed by a super powerful. Never evolved with Eevee, and I think it's weaker than Jolteon and Vaporeon combined. Number 7, Unknown, the weakest Pokemon ever. Knows no special moves. All it knows is hidden power, and that you probably knock it out with one hit and it's faint. And probably looking at them wrong and it's faint. They make it the worst Pokemon ever. No, number 6. The baddest Pokemon ever that I think, Pichu. They made Pichu the weakest one. I never tried a baby Pokemon. I never really caught Pichu at all. Because Pichu is one of the weakest Pokemon. You probably just use a one hit. You acquire a Power Punch and it's faint. Because he has the weakest stats ever of a baby Pokemon that evolves twice. Number 5, Abra. Oh my god, you even caught Abra. All it knows in the first move is Teleport. It has a weak stats and you have to use TMs or battle it and it will just use and just help that Teleport. But Teleport fails every time you try to evade battles with wild Pokemon. That is like a free shot. Next one up, number 4, is probably the weakest Pokemon. The weakest water type Pokemon. It has to be the evolved form. The first form of any Pokemon that never evolves. Alamolia. This Pokemon is the weirdest, most weak. I think it's one of the weakest Pokemon. You probably all it takes to take it out is a one-hit shockwave. All one-hit shot, a good electric type moves. Because it's the best ever move. You probably use Thunder Punch on it when it's faint. And why didn't Luvdisc evolve into that Pokemon? And that brings me to number 3, Luvdisc. This Luvdisc did not evolve into that Alamolia Pokemon. But Luvdisc is the worst moves, worst stats, and just single KO from a single Pokemon, because it made so bad it doesn't change 5 Hydro Pump. And that makes this number 3 on my list. Number 2, one of the weakest Pokemon, I think, Alibuff. Another one of the baby Pokemon, the first form of the Wigglytuff evolution line. It is the weakest Pokemon. You could probably it's a single knockout from any Pokemon. And English, you could probably use Compete. You could use moves that are sort of effective against this Pokemon, and it's Faint. So that's why Alibuff is number 2 on the list. Number 1, the weakest Pokemon ever, Magikarp. Does the A moves till level 15. It's a bad move pool, has a bad move pool, perfect stats, and lock her from anything. So that's why Magikarp deserves number 1 as the weakest Pokemon. So I hope you enjoyed my list of top 10 weakest Pokemon. I'm going to do, I will do a top 10 Pokemon list on the top 10 best gym leaders and boss battles. So search for that one.